Hi, my name is Cooper Newsom, and today I'll be showing you how to reassemble a transmission on a 2023 KTM 85SX. Okay, so we're going to use Permatex Ultra Slick to lube the bearings before we put the transmission in. Okay, so I got my dad here, and he's holding the main shaft and the counter shaft. This one goes to your clutch, the main shaft does, and then the counter shaft goes to your sprocket. And he's gonna put them in. There.
There you go, good job, Cooper.
Okay, now slide it up.
We'll tilt the engine up to hold it in. Okay.
I'll get my small person stool. Okay, so these are the shift forks that go into your counter shaft right here. And they hook into these little indentions right there and there. So these pins, they're always going to face inwards towards the shift drum right there. And then this long piece on the top goes down and the long piece on the bottom goes up. Now I'm going to put them in. So one goes on the very bottom right there. Then one goes kind of right there. Okay, this is the shift fork for the main shaft. And as always, the long part's going to go down. And then this pin's gonna go out. This is the shift drum. This is what the bottom looks like, and this is what the top looks like. So whenever you disassemble your bike, make sure it's in neutral, and then it makes life easier if you look at the top and where it's positioned with this little key right here. And if you look at that, maybe you take a picture or something and look back at it, and it'll make life a lot easier. So now we're gonna install it. Whenever I install it, I like to push these back a little bit so it's not in your way.
With the forks?
The forks. So the shift drum goes in this little bearing right there. Then you wanna put that in there. And then you'll feel a little snap. And then it's in, and it'll spin. Now we just got to get these hooked up. So now I'm going to get the shift forks aligned with the shift drum. And these little pins, they go in the little grooves right there. So now I'm going to get the gear into neutral. So all I have to do is just slide up on there, push it in. Then with this bottom one, you just kind of push it in there and make sure it's in there pretty good. Then it should be aligned. So with the main shaft, just like the top shift fork right here, you lift up on it a little bit.
Hold your shift drum down so it doesn't move.
Yeah. And then slide it in there. Should be good. So now we're gonna install the shift rails. They go into the shift forks right here. So this one goes into the counter shaft, and this one goes into the main shaft. The springs, this spring, it goes on top, and then these with both springs, they go on either side. You can put them in. So it helps to have an extra hand to hold down the shift drum while you install the shift rails. I like to install the counter shaft shift rail, so that's what I'm gonna do. Once you feel it hit the bottom, make sure it's in there, doesn't wiggle. Now you can install the main shaft rail. And with this one, you could probably bounce it up and down like that, and that's how you know it's in there. Okay, so my dad, he's gonna hold the main shaft on the clutch side, and I'm gonna hold the counter shaft where the sprocket usually goes right here. And I'm gonna spin this. Okay, so you see right now how it locks up whenever we're spinning it? So that's because it's probably in first gear or something like that. And then if it's doing that, you want to move it forwards,
The shift drum
up a little bit. Then you'll see how these gears, they'll pop up a little bit. Then I can spin it and it'll spin freely. Both sides will spin freely and you're neutral. Okay, so before we assemble the rest of the engine, we're gonna make sure that we can go through all the gears. Okay, so now we flip the engine stand around to the clutch side, and now we're gonna install the shift guide. So we got our shift guide here, and notice on the back of it how one of these notches is big and one of these notches is smaller. It's also the same right here on the shift drum, so all you have to do is align these notches, and then it should just snap in like so, and then you should have all your stuff aligned up. Okay, so we got our shift guide and our tensioner hooked up, and okay, so I want to point out to y'all, see how these teeth right here are all pointy and everything, and in between there's these divots. Those are your gears. So there's 6 of those, and then on one of them right here, you see how that little ball right there, it's hooked in between one and it's got an indentation right there. That's neutral. That's why it's so hard to get into neutral, because you have to get it on top of a tooth, basically. So I just wanted to point that out to y'all. Alright, so now we're gonna switch through the gears, and I'm gonna hold the primary shaft with my hand right here, and this is the clutch. I'm gonna hold the counter shaft with my hand right here, and this is the sprocket. And then my dad's gonna switch through the gears. It spins freely right now because it's in neutral.
Okay, so I'm going to use an Allen wrench on the shift guide and just run through the gears. So I'm going to go down first gear.
Okay.
All right, back to neutral.
Yep, neutral.
Okay, second gear.
Second gear.
Third gear.
Yep.
Fourth gear.
Fourth gear.
Fifth gear.
Fifth gear.
And sixth gear.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna walk back down to neutral. Okay, fifth gear.
Yep.
Second.
Second.
Then on top of the tooth is neutral.
Neutral.
Great, looks like everything's working, right?
Yep.